Because going to this scale.
We all do
Yeah.
friends.
I don't know, I read somebody's like 40-foot one truck, 40-foot container.
So I do have
You know, well,
this thing right now.
I just brought that on the flat, but the meeting-
I got the 15.
Yeah, I've got this one in.
All right. Aloha, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Well, Kako, welcome again, everyone. To open our meeting, if I may, one of our board members, Daniel Chang, will open with a pledge. Thank you, Donnie.
Our Father in heaven, we come to thee this evening at the opening of our Waimea Community Association meeting. So grateful, Father in heaven, for James and the leadership that he provided for our board members. And for those who are making an effort to attend this meeting, we are grateful that everyone has arrived here in safety. And we ask you to bless those who would be on their way, that they may arrive in safety as well. We ask you, Father in heaven, to be with all the presenters this evening as we discuss concerns for our children in our Waimea community, that we may all be a part of this discussion and be supportive of others too. We ask you to take us from after the meeting in safety, and it's our prayer in the life of Jesus Christ. Amen.
My name is James Eustace. I'm the president of the Waimea Community Association. I hope that you were able to catch the first pair of supermoons actually this month, and then also take a moment to catch the second one and even a blue moon later this month. So something exciting to look forward to in the community here. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We are here at Tutu's house as we connect with our presenters online and here in person in this hybrid setting. So thank you, everyone. As always, I encourage you to follow, like, and subscribe to the Waimea Community Association on our social media accounts. And you also can find relevant information up on our website at waimeatown.org. We do strive to keep our account active, up to date. And this evening, we are streaming live via the OWL here on YouTube and Facebook. And this recording will be made available for later viewing. At this point, I'd like to recognize my fellow WCA board members, our Vice President, Mary Beth Lachek. Our secretary is unable to be here tonight, but that's Nancy Carr-Smith. Our directors, Patty Cook's out in the front there. We just saw her as you're walking in. David Greenwell in the back. Whitney Harvey. Lonnie Olsen-Chong, who's our timer this evening. Riley Smith, who won't be here as well, but we have Chris Wong as well in the back. Thank you. On behalf of the WCA board, we're grateful for the support shown by you, the community, to hold these town meetings. Thank you all for your interest and join us for our past meetings, for viewing and sharing these recordings. The Waimea Community Association is a nonprofit organization that strives for open participation by all of the Waimea community, develop leadership, and support the smart growth of the region. If you'd like to support the work that we've done and help continue our efforts in this fashion and connecting with the community, you're more than welcome to donate or join as a member. You can visit our website, waimeatown.org, for more information. You can sign up at the front, or you can visit our website, waimeatown.org, or send us an email, waimeacommunityassociation@gmail.com, for more information. Your contributions and your membership really allow us to reach out to the community and connect in this setting and support the work that WCA has done for the past 60 years. So mahalo nui for your support. We're also grateful for the support of Tutu's House and Friends of the Future. It has been important for us to bring our meetings back in person while maintaining a virtual aspect to connect with the community in different fashion, as well as maintain what was kind of come to love and care about that we've done over the past couple of years now. We're going to begin this meeting this evening with a number of community updates and spotlight our nonprofit of the month. And then we'll be spending the majority of our tonight's meeting talking and hearing from and sharing about our schools in the community from our educators and administrators of our primary and secondary schools located in and around Waimea. We have allocated time in our agenda for your community questions, for your questions if you have of our schools. And we do appreciate community members that have sent in questions ahead of time. And for our viewers online, please use the chat and we'll do our best to share them with our guests here this evening. And we'll get to that point. I'll just notify you and you can raise your hand and I'll call on you to pose your questions to our administrators. So to start things off, as always, I'd like to welcome up Captain Evangelista and Officer Justin Cabantine, Community Police and Officer Justin Cabantine, to give us a few updates. Welcome, officers.
Thanks, James. Good evening, everybody. Our other community policing officers are not going to be with us tonight. We've been training for most of the night. And I just want to let you know, we're not quite done compiling our monthly report from statistics yet. So the figures that Justin gives tonight will be preliminary. Just a couple announcements. After student presentation, I'm looking forward to getting back out in the campus with their officers. We're the top, the next one is August 25th. Yeah. It's going to be in our newsletter that's going to be coming up. I wanted to take this time. I know WCA reaches a lot of people, you know, but the South Florida State Fishing Area was a huge success. I was able to provide prizes for all 81 kids that came. Thank you very much. Okay, so our crime statistics real quick. For the month of July, we had 5 assaults and 2 burglaries. We also had 10 criminal property damage cases within our district. We had 9 thefts, 1 UAMD, which is unauthorized entry to a motor vehicle, and 1 unauthorized entry. We did initiate 4 drug cases, and we did have 2 major incidents. On top of that, there were 45 reckless driver calls. Now, she did conduct 32 traffic events, speeding, UI saturated. Lastly, we had 12 members. Still need everybody to stay up. Yes. Please remind your friends, guys, simply example, please. Seems like no matter how much we go out there to do in person, we still observe the same amount of people. Actually, what's amazing. What I want to mention before we go on is the incident that happened a couple of days ago. So we want to reassure our community, because stuff like that has happened here. People have been victims, and a lot of times it's treated like no big deal, and maybe it's not, but sometimes it could be. So report that stuff to us, because I want to reassure the community that if there's a crime there to investigate, we are going to investigate. So the county code was updated a couple of years ago after. Because there was this enforcement action wasn't going to be able to take place until a once. So the county council updated them. So now a dangerous dog would be asked someone. Criminal failure to control you, negligent failure to control you. So you have to take means to keep your dog in your space. If you negligently fail to control your dog and it gets out of your space and bites him, usually bites him. So we want to treat the issue seriously, but when it gets reported to us, that's what we're going to do. used to be before. Incidences. It's no longer the case. Because it used to be.
Yeah.
So we do want to take it seriously and we need you guys to report. If you don't want to prosecute the dog owner, that's fine. We have a way to, we still want to have that. It's reported to us. I'll look into it. There's a fine. Yeah. Oh. So as of July 1, animal control became a separate entity. So they are their own division. They have another division. Now, I can't really speak for them, but I can imagine you're not going to get to every call, just like us. But they are the primary divisions. We do criminal investigations. There's a crime it's on us. We do it. Okay, thanks everybody.
Hey, let's see, how are we doing?
I'm getting some feedback that audio is going in and out a little. When you're speaking, if you could stand closer to the owl.
Yeah. Or just louder project a little bit, yeah. Thank you, Mary Beth. All right, so for our monthly meetings, we strive to recognize fellow community organizations, nonprofits included. For the month of August, Waimea Community Association, we spotlighted Friends of Thelma Parker Memorial Library. So with the start of the school year and a successful event this past weekend, we felt it important to learn about and connect with our volunteers that support our community library. So this evening, we're joined by Alice Jenkins, who is the president of the Friends of Thelma Parker Memorial Library. Welcome, Alice. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, the Friends of Thelma Parker Library supports the library services and the facilities. And we have 4 meetings a year quarterly to discuss our upcoming projects and about past projects. We do special purchases such as a new circulation desk in 2019. We put in new windows with screens to keep the termites out. We've bought a lot of new tables and chairs recently. We also help the librarians with any supplies, equipment, books, magazines that the state does not provide to our library. We also maintain book donations. Okay, we get many donations from the community members, and we either put those out for selling or for free. They're in not such a good condition. Occasionally, we get some good books that we put in our regular circulation. Also, we have volunteers who help the regular library staff in many ways. We need volunteers for special events, for example, last Saturday, or for this count week. We have to do 2 count weeks every year. And we have volunteers that just sit at the front door and count how many people come in. What else? We don't need donations because we have a very good endowment. So save your donations for groups that really need it. And we just need more volunteers and members. Our quarterly meetings are usually just a few people. We'd like to have more input from the community. If you want to apply to get into Friends, we have applications out front. And we also have free pens. We have lots of free pens left over from the community event last Saturday. Do you have any questions? Oh, we also have a website. It's Friends of Thelma Parker Library @gmail.com. So you can go on there and find out. Also, if you get on our email list, then we send out a monthly notice of all events in the library, for the library and for the Friends group. Again, that's Friends of Thelma Parker Library @gmail.com. Any questions? Okay.
You mentioned the count weeks. Is it beneficial to the library if more people come during those weeks? Like, would it
I
help
think
to
it's
encourage
just,
people-
yeah, I think it's just statistics that the state wants. It's just a group requirement.
Bodies show up.
Yeah,
Take off books.
yeah.
Yes, well, that's what I'm asking. Is it more important to go at that time? Okay, and when was that again?
I can't remember. Usually it's like March and April or, and in, I don't know, September, October. But it's just statistics for the state. But actually our library, for the size of it, has very large numbers of people who use it. Okay, thank you.
We always do try to post the copies on Facebook and on the schools because it's, you know, it's one of the big things.
Exactly,
Really
that's what I'm thinking. It's certainly something we could publicize to our own.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alice. Appreciate your time here. Yeah, so that's kind of a first. We usually ask for donations, but we're set there. But what Alice was saying, please, and encourage people to attend and join and participate in Friends of the Summer Park and Memorial Library. Yeah, thank you so much, Alice. Wonderful. We're gonna go through a couple of slides here, got a handful of different community events that are happening, some a little bit further down the road. We'll kind of just go through them here, and Mary Beth's gonna put those up on the screen. Thank you, Mary Beth. The first one is actually tomorrow at Keck headquarters. This has to do with the Akamai internship program run by Keck Observatory, Canada, France, and NELHA, as well as Blue Ocean Barnes. So these were summer interns that did projects over the summer, summer research projects, and they will be presenting their work to the community. So they're happening across the state, and this is with our local groups in the community here and the interns that we had at our local organizations across the island. So if you want to learn about what they've been involved with, what they've been researching, tomorrow at Keck Observatory from 9 to 11:30. And it's encouraged that you do RSVP ahead of time. So there is a tiny link there, tinyurl.com, symposia RSVP. All right. Okay, and the next one. Yes, go ahead. The audio or might be our friend Koki Frog outside, possibly. Yeah. The next one is Waimea Arts Council. They're doing first Saturday community art classes. This one is actually this Saturday, August 5th. And the topic, they have different topics for each one of them. And this one is on the importance of a line. So how important is a line? And then how does that incorporate into depth and distortion into art form? Next up, we have a couple of County of Hawaii activities and events. This is a hazardous waste collection they're running. There are 2 dates for this. The first is this weekend in Waikea, at Waimea High School parking lot. And the next one is West Hawaii Civic Center parking lot, so on the west side of the island. And that's Saturday, August 12th. So if you're looking to dispose of some of those hazardous waste, automotive fluids, batteries, this is where and when to do it. Thank you. Next one is also a county event, and this is offering vehicle disposal and assistance with vehicle disposal. And this is beginning, really the applications, applications are starting to be accepted this coming Monday. So if you need help disposing them or looking for assistance, this is something to get into. hawaiizerowaste.org/recycle/automotive. So that's that there for the County of Hawaii. Those just came out pretty recently, I think. So yeah. 2 events for the initiation community food pantry. This is the Tuesday distributions. The first is August 8th and then August 22nd. And this is always until supplies last. And they kick it off at 8 a.m. in the morning, 8 a.m. in the morning. Then just something else to keep in mind, Kēhau Theater, they're doing their open mic event again, August 11th. So a little bit down the road here, Friday, August 11th. Kind of it's in the Mike Roos studio. So that kind of black studio they have there. This is a community meeting happening on Saturday, August 12th about UXO or unexploded ordnance. Specifically, it talks about Waikoloa Maneuver area, and that's the whole area we live in, Waimea, down to Waihaia and Waikoloa Village. But this is specific to Sector 15, which is in Pu'ukapu and Kuhio Village, kind of around the areas of Kanu, Ka Aina School as well. They're really projecting and going to be sharing a plan about what's happening in Sector 15. So if you're interested in this and what's going on, the clearing and work for Sector 15 Waimea, please attend Saturday, August 12th. This will be at the Waimea School cafeteria. And that's at 2 o'clock in the afternoon that day. Next up, this is kind of a exciting thing as well here. A Prince Dance Studio Institute is doing a number of performing arts classes. And they also have scholarships being offered for Keiki to participate and be a part of this. The classes do start August 19th, but applications are being accepted until the 10th of August. So it's good time to get those applications in now. They're very lenient and generous about their scholarship program. So there is someone you have to put down first, but there really isn't a commitment you have to make until you get those scholarships. So Angel Prince is very generous, and the Princess is very generous with their scholarships. Next up are local businesses and our food trucks. This is at Keck headquarters, Friday, August 18th. I know the image is a little bit small, so it's a little bit blurry there, but this is scheduled for this month on August 18th, that Friday. Thank you. Let's see, a little bit later in the month, North Hawaii Hospice is holding their floating lantern ceremony. You do need RSVP for this if you do want one of the lanterns to cast out into the bay at Fairmont Orchid. So you need to go to northhawaiihospice.org to RSVP and get on the list there so that you can participate if you want to remember and cherish someone who you hold dear. This meeting did happen just last week, and I just want to speak about this briefly. This is the Waimea Roadway Improvements Program, part of the Waimea Regional Safety Study that the state ran with a contractor. The meeting that was held last week, Thursday, was the 8th in a series we've done. There were a slew of meetings we held before the pandemic, and they came back around to meet us the 8th time in the community here. This meeting was specific to Laniakila Park. I think a lot of you know where Laniakila Park is, I hope. It's right across from Parker School, a Nui Playground, Parker School. It's right at the park just across from there. And it really was to get the community's feedback and understanding on the impact that road improvements could have to Laniakila Park. I just wanted to hear the community's say and feedback on what that park means to the community and what the road could do if there's a road projected and a roundabout proposed in that area, how it would impact that park there. There is still an opportunity to comment on this. You can still go onto the website. It is Waimea Regional Safety Study.com. So if you want to look at the plans, look at the presentations, that information is all up on the website. They're waiting to compile all the feedback that happened from that night, but there is an opportunity to send in your comments now anyway. And part of that, the South Florida Traffic Safety Committee, we talk about these projects. We'll be meeting here next week, Tuesday, kind of a hybrid setting as well. So if you're interested in talking about infrastructure with that regard, with our roads and safety of our roads, you're welcome to join those meetings. They'll be here next week, Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Thank you. Waimea, this is looking into September now. So the next few kind of go a little bit further out. Waimea Arts Council is doing another first Saturday, and this one's really about pop art. So Roy Lichtenstein and Andy Warhol. This is really something fun to get involved with. That doesn't have to be for children. You can get there, you can go there and enjoy and learn about these different things. So this is happening on Saturday, September 9th. And just like the previous one, you do want to RSVP for these and register so that you can have a space and enjoy. A little bit in the same weekend, we have our Waimea Fire Prevention and Resilience Fair put on by the Waimea Resilience Hub, Vibrant Hawaii, a lot of different community partners that are coming together to put this on. So this will be held at Hilo Town Hall that Saturday starting at 10 o'clock, talking about how to make a resilient community and safety issues and concerns that we have, and how do we come together as a community to deal with these concerns that we face in the past with our fires or the future disaster events. A little more news on this one. The last couple months we did a save the date, but there's an opportunity to buy a ticket now. So I would recommend you get a ticket. They have an Eventbrite set up, and you need to buy a ticket to attend. but still scheduled for Saturday, September 16th. This is Old Hawaii on Horseback, put on by the Pangolo Preservation Society. So looking forward to that. It should be a fantastic event up in Waikiki. And also a little further out into September, just want to save the date for our fall festival, our Waimea Fall Festival, held at the Kalani Shudi District Park here in Waimea. And then also another save the date for our Waimea Community Association. I know kind of putting our neck out here a little bit, but you know, thanking our first responders like we've done in the past. We've done our potlucks, we've done our meals for our first responders, and it really is open to the community. You're all welcome to attend and enjoy the food, have a conversation with our EMTs, our paramedics, our pilots, what have you, firefighters, our police officers, not just presenting, but you can have a casual conversation and learn about them and what they do. So looking forward to that. That is our meeting for November. So we won't be holding a regular town meeting. And we did schedule it for Wednesday so that we can also mind the community meal that happens on Thursdays. So this is really open to the community to attend and enjoy. And then tied to this, we posted up on our social accounts. You've probably seen a lot of these photos going around, but we did welcome in a new tool in our tool belt for the county, really. And this is really in large part due to community partners and the Daniel Sayre Memorial Foundation. This will be the new Chopper 2 down at the South Paula Station along Queen Kahumanu Highway. And there's a Frank and Laura Sayre kind of leading off the event that day. But fantastic, very moving. You know, Frank and Laura get there all the time talking about their history and what it means to them, the first responders, and how it really is part of our community, is part of the community, and how it impacts our lives every day. So just a couple more shots of the new helicopter titled Ka Aina. So you can see, if you go back one way, that you can see the EO design on the side of the chopper there. And you've probably seen some other ones out there as well. But amazing gift to the county of Hawaii and the fire department. And of course, as we talked about in July, we probably saw us with Christmas hats in the community last month, trying to get the word out for our Christmas parade. This is really a community effort to come together and help put it on and be a part of this fantastic annual event for Waimea. We'll also be out in the community at other events. This is the WCA board. You might see us with Christmas with Santa hats, or just out talking about the parade, answering questions people might have about the route and the impacts of the community. And just anything about the parade. Just really your financial support, of course. But it really the community comes together for this event. It's a longer route. There are more narrator stations. So it does take a little bit more to put it on and really bring it to the community. We estimated maybe 10,000 people attended last year or more. It was packed. The community was loving it and had a great time. So we're looking forward to this year. And I think that will do it for me. Last thing I want to say is that, these events and these happenings, I know I was going through them pretty quickly, but if, you have other events and you need help getting out to the community, we're happy to share them for you. We do try and post it up on our social accounts, in particular our Facebook page, and we have some up on our website as well. But we can also help spread the word. So please don't hesitate to reach out. All right, and I think we're going to move on to our next portion. So thank you for your patience there. Tonight we're going to be focusing on and spending time with our Waimea School and the general area Waimea administrators. Our academic community has really faced unique challenges the past couple of years. And we're grateful to be present with them, with our school administrators and educators, opportunity to learn more about what they're doing now after the years of the pandemic and what they're doing in the community and engaging with community partners and really what's happening on their campus as well, how they're working with their students and their families and really, implementing changes that happened over the past couple of years and seeing what they can do to improve the lives of our students, from social emotional wellness to integrating any sort of technology in the classrooms, those sort of things. So really looking forward to hearing from them, as well as ways that the community and family can interact with our schools and our administrators and how we can support them like this. So we're grateful to hear from our primary and secondary schools. Please do keep in mind that these academic institutions differ in structure from each other. We have public schools, public charter schools, and our independent or private schools here this evening with us. And I'd just like to acknowledge that this is a busy time of the year for our school administrators as they welcome students and families back and kick off the new school year. So this is really a high stress time for them. So we're grateful for the time they're spending with us here this evening and connect with the larger Waimea community. And this year in particular, we wanted to reach out to our neighboring community and connect with one of our important schools that a lot of our keiki, our Waimea keiki attend, commute to Honoka'a. So we're grateful to have our new principal of Honoka'a Intermediate and High School join us this evening. So first up, I'd like to welcome up Erika Blanco to join us here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm always nervous about these things and it's pretty brand new and it was kind of a speed race getting to this seat. And, you know, I'm always just blown away by the amount of support and just beauty, I think, in education and just my route to where I am today. And, you know, Tammy, I work really closely with Tammy and I'm just so honored with this. But I am the very brand new principal at Honoka'a High Intermediate. I'm technically still a baby, I guess, in a way too. I am very excited. We have so many great things that's happening at our school. And I'm just eager to really bring us back to our roots and what makes Honoka'a extremely special as basically the piko that connects so many of our communities here, down to Waikoloa, even all the way out to, well, Kauai High for sure, but Pauilo and even out to Lapua. So, you know, one of my messages to our staff this year is about pili. So knowing how connected we are and how we connect our communities and also being connected. So connected to our place and the place that we serve so that we can serve our children and help them be empowered to serve our community and even beyond. So let me talk to you guys about some of my goals this year. So we are an academy school. This means that we are very CTE pathway focused. We are giving our students some real world hands-on opportunities in industries. So right now we have 3 academies. We have Academy of Discovery, which is our intermediate school. They're exploring all the different pathways. We have the Academy of Industry, which includes our ʻAlo. We have digital design, and we also have business. And then our other one is the Academy of Public Service, which is our natural resources, ʻAlo, and I said ʻAlo, natural resources, culinary, and emergency health. And so a lot of our students this past year, they got their MA, so medical assistants certificate. They get all of these certifications before they graduate so that they can be career ready and get out there in the industry and already start their careers. You know, they'll know exactly what they want to do. They already have that kind of expertise and certification. So last year was our very first year, and that was my very first year sitting in this seat. So it was such an honor to see how it started and like where it went just at the end of the year and now where we are going. So this year really focused on trying to build our middle school pathways and getting them exploring so that by the time they get to us in 9th grade, they can launch and they know where they want to go. They know the pathways, so they're not wasting time, I guess, in a way, but, you know, still exploring. They can explore in middle school. So my vision, or our vision at Honoka'a High and Intermediate, is to empower all students with the confidence and ability to pursue their dreams. And we believe that academies is the way that to go with that. Our goals is to have 70% of our students successfully complete a CTE pathway program. Our SBA and ELA math scores, we want to increase that by about 15%. The 8th grade science, this year they rocked it, so we want to continue to increase our SBA and all of our standardized testing. Our college going rate improved to at least 60%. We had 53% of our students go to any kind of college right after, and that includes 2 years, work-based, so all of those things. So we want to increase that. And then of course our daily attendance rate to improve. As we're coming back from COVID, we're seeing those impacts still. Our seniors this year were deeply impacted, and it's really getting them right back into the motion. So this school year, I talked to the teachers about being connected and then going back to our roots. What makes teaching really, what drove you to be a teacher? You know, what keeps you going every day? Why are you here in Honoka'a? Of all the places you could be, why? Why are you here? There's something special, and you got to connect with that every single day, because our students are coming and choosing to be here every single day. So we got to honor that too. But so I'm really proud of what our school has accomplished in these last couple of years that I've been there, and I'm really excited to see where we go this year. And we're going to be working really hard to bring that back, really focus on our teaching strategies, understanding how we are connected, and really like leveraging our academies this year. Thank you.
Mahalo, Erika. Thank you so much. Next up, I'd like to welcome Head of School for Parker School, Mr. Stephen Dunn. Welcome.
Thank you, James. I can tell you that the last 3 years are much more stressful than the start of this year. This year, we're working on excitement as our students are coming back. So I'm clearing out the COVID and the remnants of that. We can now get really excited about what we're doing. Aloha, I'm Stephen Dunn. I'm the head of Parker School. I'm starting my 4th year. And for those of you that don't know, Parker School is a K-12 school of about 340 students this year. We serve students primarily from Waimea, Waikoloa, all the way around to Lapahoihoi and as far away as Kona and Kohala. So we have a pretty large catchment for our students. I can tell you I am, and our school is grateful to be part of a really rich educational community. I look at colleagues around the room and doing super important work and great work on behalf of our students. And we have, like other schools, an incredibly dedicated group of faculty that after a very short, what felt like a very, very short summer and a very quiet summer, are back. We're back on Monday and starting to get to work. We spent a day on Tuesday with some community partners and getting out and connecting with Pu'unui, with the Heiau and Kohala and Waihai, and working on the nature trail and the nature park. One of the things that we're doing this year is rolling out a new strategic plan, and part of that is to really reinvest in our connection with Waimea and how we do that. So getting our hands literally in the earth and making, for some of us, the first visits to really important cultural sites. Had an employee tell us that they lived here for 42 years and had never been to the Heiau, and how stirring and moving that experience was for them. So that's an experience that we need our students to have as well, to be really grounded in this amazing place. Part of our strategic plan is we're exploring a little bit of a new idea, and the idea of regenerative education. So how are we giving more than we are consuming, and how are we enriching the community more than we are depleting? So we're going to really play and dig into what that means for an institution to explore those ideas. We welcomed our new middle and upper school students to campus today for orientation. Had a full theater full of excited kids and parents, and we'll see our lower school students tomorrow as they come back to campus. We have a theme this year. In the past, the past couple of years during COVID, our idea of kuleana shrunk a little bit, maybe right into this region, to think about how we keep each other safe. We're going to kind of expand that idea and really explore kuleana for the entire island, the community, and the world. Teachers are excited to come back. They're also a little wary. Things are changing in education very rapidly. If I just say the word or the phrase chat GPT to a teacher, AI is changing how we think about education and what that means to ourselves and to our students and to learning. We're also trying to figure out what the answer to that question is. We've asked chat GPT and the answers are pretty good, but not perfect. So again, Stephen Dunn, head of school at Parker. Thank you, James, for the opportunity, and look forward to your questions.
Mahalo, Stephen. Next up, I'd like to have our principal from our Waimea Elementary School, Tammy Pickerson. Thank you.
Hi, aloha, and thank you for coming out tonight. I am Tammy Picklesheimer. This is entering my 3rd year. I cannot believe it. So I remember when it was my first year principal, I got to go first as well. Somehow James knows when you're brand new, you get to be the first in line to present. So this time I was 3rd for my 3rd year. But I think what we have up here, we're really excited to welcome all of our keiki back on campus. They will start on August 9th. This will be our first year that we're going to have orientation. So kids will be able to come and that's the thing, right? When we have this big transition going from preschool to kindergarten, and even when you're going from lower L to upper L, which is you're going from 2nd grade to 3rd grade, you want to know, you want to see that classroom, you want to meet that teacher before you even walk on campus. So August 8th, we will have parent Ohana orientation from 8 to 11. So come on, drop off those supplies, say hi, meet your teacher, see the cafeteria, come to the health room. I'll be around on campus. We're going to have some booths as well. I think this year we're focusing on, we have a 1-page document and I'll read it. So it's like, what is Waimea Elementary? What is it so special? There's many things that make us come to this. But what I want to just let you know, what we're about from our point of view is we are committed to ensuring that every single student has an opportunity to engage in high learning, quality learning every day, and that they have a sense of belonging to their self, their school, their community. And so we're just what Erika was saying, it's about building that sense of belonging. But Waimea Elementary School, that's your school. And not just for our keiki, but also for our staff. Our staff have a choice to work wherever they want. And like Erika said, they want to work at Waimea Elementary because it's the school of choice. That's what we want to be. And so that's what we talk about here on the 1-pager, is that we are a learning community and we are united in our commitment to ensuring high quality education. We also, we're focusing on teachers working together. We don't close our doors. We know it's not just about one grade. I'm successful, but what about my grade level? What about our entire school? We are united in this commitment. We're all successful. I talk a lot about, every single child, yes, we want every single child to be proficient. And with COVID, that's really hard. And it's really hard anyway, but can we say as educators that when they come in our room on day 1, they will have at least 1 year of growth when they exit our classroom on day 2? Yes, we can do it. So we're really excited to say they come here, wherever they are, we get you, we accept you, and when you leave, you'll have at least that 1 year's worth of it. So that's what we're going to try and work our hardest to do when they come into our classroom. We also are Choose Aloha, really continuing our focus on social emotional learning. Our kiddos they have a lot of trauma. Many of them that they've experienced, that they've seen. We have 3 counselors on campus. That's really important. That they can, K1 has a counselor, 2, 3, and 4, 5. And so we spend a lot of time, yes, you made a mistake, but you know what? Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and we're here, we got you. And so our counselors spend a lot of time on teaching why that was the wrong choice and what we're going to do to make the right choice the next time. So 3 counselors on campus, always working on that social emotional side, and give them 5. So we talk about give them 5, not like that was wrong, you did that, but it's like, give them 5, I see you. I've seen you make the right choice. These are the rules, these are the expectations, and this is why it's important. This is the benefit of following the rule. And can I trust that you're going to do it for us next time? And like, you do this. So it's all about giving 5, not about you're doing it wrong. And that's part of that social emotional commitment. So we see you, we hear you, and we're going to uplift you every single day. Wrong side. Let's see. We're really excited. We're going to start our morning, every morning with our ALIA, stand up, welcome in, and then our Bronco commitment, our Bronco pledge. And we are here to learn. We're going to continue. We had a fabulous May Day last year, continue with our talent show, our May Day, Hiki, all the things that make Waimea Elementary School fabulous. We want to continue that and grow. So our next steps is that we are part of a community school. So what that means, we have a community school coordinator, and we're so lucky to have her with our partnership group, Partners in Development. So they fund her. And so it's not just about, hey, come on my campus, or hey, come to Makahiki, but it's about how do we really engage our community as partners? How do we bring you on as we are the community hub? If you need something, we're here to help you. Do you need a doctor's appointment? Come on, we can help you find that. Do you need a social service? Let me help you find it. Not just about Waimea Elementary School, and we're here to educate your children. We do that, and we're also here to kind of help whatever support services you might need and navigate those pieces that sometimes are difficult. So that's our goal in the next step. We are challenged. I have 30 seconds left. We lost a bus, Robert's Hawaii. We lost our whole bus route heading down to Lakeland. We're doing our absolute very best. We have 2 vans and 1 driver. I welcome anybody who wants to come and be a van driver. We take 9, only 9, not a bus full. We take 9, and we'll make sure that you're also certified. But we sure could use a driver to help pick up those babies and make sure they get to school every single day. And I just want to thank you for your patience and the community as you work through traffic. Please follow the traffic rules. It's really important for our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have Kumu from ʻAlo Kēhau Kaina Mauna. Well, I'd like to welcome in Pualani Coburn. Welcome, Pualani.
Aloha, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you.
Mai ka velo puka kala maha e hae, a hiki loa aku I ka mole olu ole hua. Felina mai ka kua pau me ke aloha. O wau no o Pualani Coburn, kahi kaikamahine a solo lawa o Debbie Coburn. He kumu ke ia ma ke kumu o ʻAlo Kēhau Ka Aina Mauna, he apana lele no ia. Ke Kula Nāwahīokalaniʻōpuʻu. Aloha, everyone. I'm so honored to be here tonight. I wish I was in person. I was taking notes. We're pili. All of us are pili, from Auntie Lani starting off with the pule, made me take what makes Waimea Waimea. It's those people like Auntie Lani that duom, alakai, huli kalima ilalo, and go further. Just so mahalo Auntie Lani for your pule. Mahalo too to the makai, the police that had different Waimea nowadays. Very different. Parker Library. Oh, all of us are pili. If you grew up in Waimea, Parker Library or the gym, that's where you went on a date, because that's all they had, because that's where you went. So I meet you at the library. And you couldn't get away with anything in Waimea because everybody knew everything. Erika, aloha Erika, we're pili. ʻAlo Kēhau is under the malu of Honoka'a High. They graciously allowed us, our high school portion, to be a school within a school. Parker, Cowboy School. That's where all of us kids went for Christmas. That was the best Christmas ever. And Santa Claus used to bring us brown bags full of nuts and tangerines. And it was the best place ever. I was in a haumana. My dad didn't work for Pucker Ranch. He was a musician. So but they invited all the keiki, just like what Brado was talking about, the community school. All of us came. If you were a keiki and you were in Waimea, you went, and Santa Claus brought you something, and he knew your name, and it was just awesome. And Waimea Elementary, aloha kako. You guys take care of our lunch. You guys graciously, Brother Neil, with our mea. I brought a kanoa, lived down the road from our house, Pu'ukapu. His keiki are products of Punana. We started Kanu Ka Aina back in the behind of Mea Lani. So Nani, this is so beautiful. We're all pili already. Somebody had started off with, we're going to be pili and Mea. So anyway, I had started off with, my name is Pualani Coburn. I'm one of 3 kumu at ʻAlo Kēhau o Ka Aina Mauna. That is a panalele, also known as a satellite school of Ke Kula o Nāwahīokalaniʻōpuʻu, which is in Kēhau. So kind of like Kamehameha has Kapalama and there are 2 satellites, though such as us, we're not private. This year, like was previously mentioned, there was pilikia with the COVID, and we're a ʻAlo face-to-face language program. So very difficult to teach Zoom to kindergarten, 1st grade young ones, even older teenagers who don't want to be there via the language. We started our school was ho'okumu. What's there for ho'okumu? Made. It was established. It was established in 2011. At that time, I was the only teacher. And there was no place other than Ehunui in Kona and another school in Kiokaha for complete Hawaiian language. I just want to reiterate, we often get confused with immersion. We are not an immersion school. We are not an immersion school. We are a kula kaya o lelo. So we don't have time for it, but in a nutshell, immersion is like a rock put into a bucket of water. And so that we're the Hawaiian language, and we're covered with just with the spirituality of the Western society, the language of the Western society, the behaviors of the West. It just constantly is, and we don't want that. We want lokahi. We want together. So our school is a kaya olelo. We teach via the olelo Hawaii. So this school is for families that have chosen and made the commitment that Hawaiian language is the language of the home. Yeah, in a nutshell, that's where it's at. We have ho'okahi ka'au, kanaha, 40 students this year. That's a drop down. I am so very proud to announce that this year, 2023, we graduated our first class. We started with kindergarten and 1st grade, and they've moved through, and the first class graduated in Puna this year. I'm so very excited. My daughter was one of the students. She graduated. I'm not sure if you know Sila of biliteracy, which means 2 high school diplomas, 1 in English and 1 in Hawaiian. So very happy with honors. We're also very glad to announce, so very proud to announce that this will be the first year that we will be graduating students in Waimea. Our graduation is not, I use the word graduation because that's the term that everyone understands. Our children go through a ceremony, a 1-week ceremony called an aha. So we don't really ask for handouts, or if you want to drop off some cash, if you want made lau and have extra, we would love some. But what we really need when we need it is support from the community to say, yes, it is important to us that the Hawaiian language lives here. Sometimes we don't have enough funding for what we need to do, but we don't want the money, because with the money comes, well, you have to do their goals. And ualava na pohaku, ai makoi na pohaku, the rocks is enough for us. We don't need to sign the paper of the enemy. We are more than happy to eat the rocks. And so with that, I'm so thankful that you all invited us here this evening. If anyone would like to come, we are a public school. You can check us out at Nāwahī.org. And I look forward to continuing, because velo ohana, that's what makes Waimea Waimea. All of us, we don't have to, I was thinking, we gotta have meeting. When I was a little girl, they used to have the meetings at Hawaiian Homes Hall when somebody had a 1-year luau. So this is nani. This is really nani. Thank you for the papa alakai. And that's all I have for this evening. Mahalo nui.
Mahalo nui, Pualani. Thank you so much. Okay, I think can we hear us online still? All right. Next up, I'd like to welcome the new interim head of school at Waimea Country School, Laurel Matsuda, and also like to mahalo Amy Salling for her years of service there at Waimea Country. Welcome, Laurel. Thank you so much.
And absolutely, thank you for not making me go first. Mahalo to Erika for being brave, and I am very new, new and not new. I started teaching at Waimea Country School the year that my now 22-year-old started kindergarten, and I have taught the 4th and 5th grade class there for the last 17 years, and now I am stepping forward as the interim head of school. So this school has been a really integral part of my Ohana for a really long time, and is very much an Ohana school, and very much dear to my heart. So I am thrilled and excited now to be in this new role and have the opportunity to move forward into the future. Waimea Country School is a really small, independent elementary school. We max out at 48 students, and we have a really strong focus on Ohana. We like to call ourselves the school where our children love to learn, because we believe in that learning should be fun, learning should be hands-on, learning should be something that kids are fully engaged in and are enjoying, because that's when it sticks. Our core values are child-centered learning, inclusion, and respect. And so we try to infuse that into everything that we do. We really value and cultivate active relationships with our families and our parents. We really encourage volunteerism among our families. We really believe in education as a partnership between us as educators and children and Ohana. And we have starting off our school year. Kids don't come back until Thursday, but we're starting off this Saturday with a big work party. So we invite our Ohana in. Being small, that's a challenge as well as a strength for us. And so being small, we invite our Ohana to participate and to help us get school and the facility ready for kids to get started. One of the things that makes us special is that we have that we are so small, and we have a really great student to teacher ratio. We've got 3 multi-age classes, kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd and 3rd grade, and a 4th and 5th grade. And each of those classes maxes out at 16 students with a full-time lead teacher and associate teacher in the classroom. So we focus on child-centered learning by really making sure that we have the staff and the faculty to meet children individually where they're at, and work directly with them. Our multi-age structure and philosophy help us to do that, because we have kids in the classroom at 2 different grade levels. We have kids learning from other kids and working together with their peers, as well as learning from teachers and associate teachers. And also allows us to have some really interesting and unique programs. Number of years ago, we had our classroom teacher in our 2nd and 3rd grade class had expertise in gardening and wanted to share that with the school, but she had a full-time classroom teaching job of her own, and we had to stop and think, well, what are we going to do about that? So we created this program that we called GART, which is gardening and art, and we put our classes together. We put our 2nd and 3rd and our 4th and 5th grade classes together, and then split them into 2 multi-age groups that go from 2nd to 5th grade. And they do their gardening and their art lessons that way. And it turned into such a successful program. It was born out of necessity and turned into such a great program that it's kind of one of our hallmarks now. And it's something that we love, the kids love. It's a really great way for them to interact with each other and also have those experiences. We also have a strong Hui Ohana program, which is for the entire year. Each classroom teacher takes a group of students from kindergarten all the way up through 5th grade as their Hui for the year. And so it's kind of like their Hogwarts house, I guess, but within the school, each kid has their own family group, and they get together weekly for buddy reading, weekly for lunch, and periodically throughout the year for a whole wide range of activities. I don't know how I'm doing for time, but okay. And last year, coming out of COVID, everybody keeps saying it was hard. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard for all of us as educators and as humans. But we're still doing what we believe in, because we believe in it, because we love it. one of the things that we noticed coming out was that we had a real need for some extra attention in literacy. And so last year we brought on a reading specialist who works intensively with the students in the 2 younger classes who are just really developing literacy skills, and then also works individually with older students who might need some special attention. And okay, thank you. Currently, we're mostly full for the current year, which is great. As a small school, one of our challenges is that small changes in enrollment have a big effect on us. But we do have a couple of spaces in our 4th and 5th grade classes. We're strong, we're committed to our mission, which is educating children to become confident, responsible, and compassionate people. I guess I'll stop there. Please check out our website, waimeacountryschool.org, and all of our links to our social media are there. We have a new office manager who's doing a great job of getting us out there on Instagram and Facebook and sharing some of those cute photos that we all love. And so you can find all the links there. Thank you.
Hello, Laura. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Next up, I'd like to welcome the head of school for Hawai'i Preparatory Academy, Fred Warner. Welcome, Fred.
Hi, everyone. My name is Fred Warner. This is my 15th year at HPA, my 3rd as the head of school. HPA is proudly sneaking up on our 75th year of service here in Waimea. Our mission is to provide exceptional learning opportunities in a diverse community, honoring the traditions of Hawaii. Our school community is aspiring to be the premier educational community committed to living and learning sustainably. We have a K-12, we're a K-12 program, and we have 2 campuses, one here in town, right across from Longs, that's our K-8 program, and then our 9-12 is on Kohala Mountain Road. We have a residential program that averages around 160 students from all over the world. Our enrollment at the K-8 is generally around 200 students, and then at the high school, generally around 400 students. This week, we welcome back our new and returning faculty for professional development and orientations across all 3 divisions. And today, we were able to go into off campus and into the community. So I want to thank our hosts, Hui Mau, Kohala Center, Waimea Trails and Greenways, and Uumau Puanui for allowing us to work alongside of them today. Our student leaders in the residential program will arrive next week. And then our residential students and their parents will come on August 11th on Friday. Do you mind flipping a few? There we go.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yes, ma'am. A couple more. One more. There we go. And one more.
Sorry, I didn't realize you needed.
No. Just a few tactical things for the community. So we start school on August 16th, and in all 3 divisions. Our village campus drop-off is from 7:40 to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. And then, as you can see here, our pickup times are 3 to 3:15 on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. And then on Wednesdays, we have an early pickup at 2 p.m. We also have an after-school program that goes from that picks up at about 5 or 5:15. And then at our upper school, our drop-off is 7:45 to 8:30. And then all of our students do co-curriculars in the afternoon. So we tend to head off campus around 5 or 5:30. And then another thing, just for the community, on Wednesdays and Saturdays and Sundays, we drop our boarding program off into town. And we really expect them to be wonderful patrons. And if you are a merchant, local store owner, please let me know if they're not. Give me a call. Thank you. A couple program highlights. Our capstone programs in grades 5, 8, and 12 offer individual projects by each student at the end of each one of the grade levels. And it's also a wonderful time for mentorship with folks in the community. So a lot of our students are connecting to professionals here. And so we want to encourage that, and hopefully folks will answer the phone and help us out with that. Our marine science program and our outdoor programs are active really nearly every weekend with hikes, scuba excursions, coastal cleanups, camping trips, and our famous sea turtle tagging expeditions. And then we're also excited to kick off our athletic seasons. We got cross country, volleyball, and football. And our theater program, we'll be putting on a musical in the fall. And the whole community is welcome to come to campus. We just ask that you wear red and white when you do that. And then we're just really excited. We've mentioned COVID and not being able to get into the community. We did we got a lot of momentum from our efforts last year, and we want to continue that this year to ensure that our faculty and students are connected to projects. We're committed to conservation efforts as well as the food bank and the wonderful community meal. One more. And then here are our superheroes. This is our academic team. Our assistant head of school for academics, Amy Cole. Dora Qualling is K5, Glenn Chickering, the middle school, and Kai Spencer at the high school. And these folks all live in Waimea. So if you see in the KTA or Food Man, please say hello. And that's it. We're really looking forward to an exciting year. It definitely came a little quicker every year. Does it feel like it comes more? But we're really excited, and we had a wonderful day today. And so I want to thank again our community partners. Aloha.
Mahalo, Fred. Thank you so much. Next, I'd like to welcome two guests from Kanu, Ka Aina. We have our secondary school, Po'okumu, Kanoa Castro, and Nicole Ryan, who's the Po'okumu for their Ka'oha program. It's their Kanoa kind of blended and virtual learning program. So welcome, Kanoa and Nicole. Thanks for joining us here this evening. I'll take it away.
All right, mahalo. Aloha kako. My name is Kanoa Castro. I am the upper school Po'okumu at our Kauhale campus. One of the things that I think about when we get together every year for the past couple of years is how lucky our ohana are to have so many different options in our community. In Waimea and in the outskirts of Waimea as well. I think having options in a small town like Waimea just provides so many different opportunities for our students to excel, to find their passions, to really execute who they want to be when they leave our small little schools. So we have very, very lucky ohana. This is my 16th year at Kanu Ka Aina, my 4th year as the upper school Po'okumu. And Kanu Ka Aina, as was mentioned, we started as a brick and mortar school that offers education for students from K through 12. We also have a Malama Poki'i, which is our preschool pre-K program. But we also offer, and we have to remind people of this, that we do offer in education for students across the Ka Aina, right? So across all of our islands. And Nicole will talk a little bit more about that. And throughout the years, we've really worked on bringing our two sectors of our schools together and having our students meet and having our teachers come together to learn from each other. And I'm really excited to say that we started off the year as a whole staff, flew in our teachers from other islands. They drove in from other parts of this island, and we spent the first day celebrating. We spent the first day celebrating La Ho'iho'ea and coming together to really think about ea and the sovereignty of not only our educational system, but our people. So it was a very joyous day. It was a great day to start our year. And I hope our teachers found that rejuvenation and excitement for the year to start. Our students come back next week, Monday. They'll be doing, for our Kauhale campus, they'll be doing 2 days of conferences, and then we'll start in person on Wednesday. One of the things I want to mention is our school campus. There's a lot of growth that's happening. We're currently in construction. We're building 3 different outdoor learning labs. two that are being built by a local construction company, but also one that's going to be built by our students, hopefully in the first quarter in a construction math class. So we're super excited about that. And then after that construction phase, we're going to be moving into building our certified kitchen. Currently, we get our lunches from vendors around our town. We added another vendor this year, but we're also excited to start to provide some meals for our ohana from our certified kitchen once it is built. Some of our continued programs, robust early college program. We definitely are connected to community. It's all about ʻAina. It's all about connecting to land and to the rich heritage of Waimea. Every year, we look to grow our athletic offerings here at Kanu, but whatever we do not offer here at Kanu, our students are allowed to or able to play with Honoka'a High School. And I'll leave it at that so I can leave Nicole enough time. Keomailani regrets that she is not here. Keomailani cases are lower school po'okumu for our Kauhale campus. And I know there's a lot happening for our K-5 program as well, all in the spirit of ʻAina education. So I'll let Nicole take over.
Mahalo kanoa. Aloha kako. It's great to be here and sharing and learning about not just our community, but just how education's evolving, and we're all putting our efforts towards that for the future of our the town and just community, but also across, like Kanoa said, the Ka Aina. We have our program that is a part of Kanu Ka Aina. It's called Ka'oha, and we do have approximately 350 students across multiple islands, all the way on Molokai, Kauai, Oahu, and half of those students reside here on the Big Island, majority of them actually in Waimea. So you may see these students with their ohana in town in the middle of the day because they're virtual blended students. And so what we try to cultivate in that capacity, and everybody's thinking, oh my gosh, virtual education, please don't take me back there, because it's kind of like a PTSD with COVID. But for us, it's not that. It's much more our own implementation of virtual education and blended education, which is ohana centered. And so what we're really working on is cultivating ohana relationships, seeing students learn together with their families, having families completely vested and be a part of the education and a key educator alongside and partnering with our kula. So one thing that we do is that not only are we ʻAina based, but we're working to personalize learning. So every student does have their own personalized learning plan. We do projects with students. We have those capstone projects. The kids are able to do the early college classes. We actually had a couple students last year graduate along with their associate's degree. So it's a real great celebration that about a third of our high school students are taking college classes already and graduating with these degrees and certificates while they're currently enrolled as high schoolers. So awesome to support not just ohana-based learning, but ʻAina-based learning, get our kids in the community with their ohana and connected to their place, whether it be Waimea, somewhere on Oahu or Hawaii, and connecting everybody together to this special place in Waimea. So, mahalo.
Mahalo, Nicole. Kanoa, thank you so much. Thanks for being here this evening.
Thank you so much.
All right, there's everyone still online there? Good, perfect. Well, last but not least, we have our Waimea Middle School Principal, Janice English. Welcome, Janice.
Hi. If it's done correctly, I can speak to you and all the pictures will show in the background. But I brought my notes. Mahalo to the Waimea Community Association for inviting us all here to show you what we have to offer our community. Aloha, my name is Janice English. I am the principal of Waimea Middle School. This is my 6th year as principal. Okay, those are our core values. So we're just gonna go with it. You can keep going. It's
Okay, I'm
gonna
counting the 15 seconds, Janice.
Okay, I know you're doing great. This is a photo of me when I was little. I grew up on Long Island, and this photo is over 50 years ago. And so I love shoes, and I just found this photo, and so I like my shoes tonight. This is all about me. It's like I like my shoes. I wear shoes at work. It makes me happy and brings me joy. This is a photo of me 18 months ago with our soon-to-be 8th graders. We took this photo when Ho'okako brought a film crew out to show their 20th year, and they incorporated, because we became a charter school. So we're going to celebrate 20 years this year. And so it's really important that when we communicate out, this is some of the visual you will see when we invite you to fun runs or potlucks or whatever we're going to do. And we would invite you to become part of our school community. Our first day, we're getting a keiki nurse. So we appreciate how Waimea Elementary has a community theme in mind and outreach. And so our keiki nurse is somewhere among some. That's our staff. We have 40 of us now. We grew and we're at about 210 students, and that's a great place. My cultural understanding, which is part of our I Care core values, I make lei for all of the faculty and staff. I've done it for the last 6 years. It's something that I've learned to do, and I like to share it with my school, Ohana, and our theme, a place of infinite, our vision, a place of infinite possibilities. These are our core values: Ike, Kaizen, accountability, integrity, and respect. And the students will get a t-shirt, the 8th graders will get a t-shirt that they designed that has the words accountability, integrity, and respect. And on the front, it says, breathe the air of life. We got an upgrade, an electrical upgrade to our campus. And this is the K courtyard where the 6th graders start their journey as Waimea Middle schoolers. And it doesn't look like that. It's all torn up now, lots of dirt and construction, but we're lucky to have an upgrade. It's about, I think, about $4 million. The school wouldn't be the school without Mala'ai Garden, and we appreciate what they give to their community, to our bigger community. Aloha the ʻAina, aloha each other, and aloha ohana and the community. That's our 9 classroom STEAM building, science, technology, engineering, the ʻAina, or art and mathematics, and that's just a great picture. I want to talk about the fact that there's going to be construction, our buses and vans. Thanks to Patty Cook in 2015 and 16, she made sure that a private donor got us 2 school buses and 2 school vans. And we're going to be on the road about 6:10 in the morning on both sides to pick up the kids before the traffic starts. So we're going to be rolling pretty early. Our buses are full. We have 60 on the green side and 25 coming from Hawaiian Homes, High side. Oh, we missed one photo, and that's okay. There it is. That's it. That's stuck. No, that's good. So we consider the child in their community. They come to us with all of these different components: their genetics, their intelligence, their resilience, their behavior, their life experience, and then we put them into this kind of system. You just think about it. We all talked about it. They're trying to navigate so much in terms of their community. And I'm going to ask us all to have compassion and kindness and understanding, because parents are not navigating a lot right now. It's just, I showed this slide 5 years ago, so it's like it hasn't changed. We have a school counselor. Her name is Lori Ching. We were able to share her last year, and she brings trauma-informed practices to both schools. I'm grateful that the 5th graders coming up and now rising 6th graders will have her again. She believes in restorative practices, and she graduated with her master's degree. So we're grateful to have a school counselor full time. You gotta love the view. I am grateful to be part of this community. I have gratitude for living in Waimea, and I so appreciate the fact that we can get together once a year and talk about kids. Mahalo.
Thank you, Janice. So we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna ask all my Waimea and Honoka'a educators and administrators to come on up here, and we'll kind of go through some questions. It'll last a little bit of time. I know the seesaw is gonna tip when all our educators come up to the middle. So yeah, and we also have Nicole and Kanu on the call, and we'll kind of just go through some community questions if people have some. We'll just kind of bounce around, and you're welcome to field them any way you'd like, and you kind of, if anyone has any questions on top of mind, we can share with our educators and administrators. That'd be fantastic. Anyone got any questions for our educators? Yes, Chris.
Wondering if you folks ever all meet up throughout the year.
Not yet.
Maybe a good idea.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something about that, Diane?
So Janice and I, and Kelmailani and Nicole, we meet. Janice, we meet monthly, maybe even twice a month sometimes. Yeah, we see each other quite often.
So how do you all see as part of the Waimea Resilience Hub, of which there are several members here, Chris and Patty, Fred. We've been working on bringing the schools together as part of the communications network when there are emergencies. And so Fred has brought Bill Wicking and Mark Vessel to the Waimea Resilience Hub. They've been offering their expertise in how they get information out to their faculty and students and families. We've also, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Diane Chadwick, and I've been emailing you all because this is one way that we can all get together to really, how do we connect when there are emergencies? And we all want to share information. And I've heard stories about when things happen at your schools and they get shut down, and you want to communicate with other schools to let them know what's happening. So we're just going to try and pull everybody together. And so please answer my emails, and we'll try to find a time that we can all get together and talk about how we have a really strong constant connection. So thank you all. I mean, I think what Hua said about how everybody has such alignment in what you all talked about. So.
Anyone want to speak to what you've experienced and what we can improve upon and what to do with you, please.
They're saying what other county officials are saying across the US, and we have drug crisis and opioid crisis. We've got fentanyl in our communities, and we know that drugs can start at a very young age, even in the 4th and 5th grade. Kids are exposed to drugs in their home. Kids are selling drugs, in the bathrooms. I mean, things are happening. I know that vaping, for example, we were trying to stop the vaping because it's a drug. It gets the kids addicted at a young age. So just a little insight of how do you deal with it? You're with the children. We're not, but we're told it's an issue. So how can the community help you, if at all? And what can we do to support you in fighting this drug problem?
I think I'll jump on that for a little bit. 'Cause, for us, we do see so many different things. And then the question always is, where does it come from? Right? You're getting it from somewhere. Where does it come from? And the educational piece is always so critical, whether it's the parents that's checking in with the students and just educating them, checking in with them, building that relationship. And it doesn't have to say, hey, you get drugs in your bag, show it to me. It's just having that constant conversation with them. And if we can really make sure that we educate our families in that crisis and making sure we do that tier 1 prevention of what are some things that we can do to just strengthen our families and strengthen that connection within our homes, and then strengthen that connection in our community, because we all care. And then to show that we all care, that check-ins with them will really matter. And by the time they get to us, it's everybody has been speaking to me before I even got here, so it's not even that opportunity, you know, and so it's like, that's the piece that I'm always thinking about is what's happening before you come here? And then if it's happening when you come here, then we can deal with that. But what's happening before you come here? Because that's something that I cannot really manage. That's out of my scope of control. But we really, really focus on that educational piece. We do have our counselors that come in. Our counselors now are also trained in trauma care, you know, and we do have a behavior team right now that's really focusing on the priority standards of our students' social emotional health and well-being. And so we are targeting what are some things that we can provide to our families before they come. And then what are some strategies for our teachers to check in with our students right at the beginning of the day and then throughout the day, so that there's no opportunities for that. So, you know, we're looking at prevention, but also that educational piece if something like that was to happen. We are partnering with some programs within our community to come in and provide that extra layer of service. So we have some really great things brewing, and we're really excited to at least add in that other layer.
Thanks, Erika. And Kanu and Nicole, I want to make sure you have an opportunity to answer that as well, if you have any insight.
Sure, mahalo. I agree with Erika, you know, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And getting our kids involved in something that builds their confidence, whether it be extracurricular activities, sports activities, connected to their place. So much of their identity is formed when they're young, and having them feel confident and being connected is huge as a prevention piece to that pathway to drugs. So I think having those opportunities within the community are huge. Especially at the school, but even beyond the school, building those connections to kids at other schools. That type of thing as preventative measures is something that I think we could provide more of in our community. You know, access to the extracurricular activities. We do have a lot of sports programs, but there's always room for more. I know parents are always looking for more for their kids, especially the younger ones, and we get them tied in young and feeling confident, then that's going to prevent them from going down that pathway.
Thank you, Nicole. Yes, Mr. Kong.
My question is, are you guys connected in any way to the community emergency response team, the CERT team? Because in case of like flooding or fires or earthquakes, that the roads are being closed down, that you guys, you know, get connected to the bus drivers or whoever, you know, just an update to ensure the parents that their kids are safe and stuff like that.
You mean like the Nixle?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
Nixle?
it's a Nixle, but they're supposed to be responding to the emergency so they can direct traffic and.
CERT only, no, but that's really what you're trying to do and trying to put this, I don't want to jump in, I'm sorry. No. But that's the intention of this network of schools, is to be able to be sure that it isn't just about that you got a lockdown, but maybe the roads are locked because there's trees down, or so the families, and if the intention of what Diane's talking about is actually bigger than just schools. It's really looking at when we responded as a community to the fire, it was extraordinary, but they were all little pods of activity, and there wasn't as much awareness of what was, you know, what was happening in connection. So this is really a way of doing a better job of connecting, and we're really excited about working with all of the schools and the faith communities too, and also the youth groups. Chris is helping us with that, to be able to have technology and layered technology, which would be a combination of apps on phones, but also probably radios, because they work when there's no electricity. It's kind of a big project, but we're really looking forward to working on it with you and getting this rolling. Thank you. Sorry to jump in.
Did you want to add anything to that, Janice? I mean, it's really like, how do you receive your information as well? Like, are you all signed up, and do you have your faculty and staff signed up for Nixle, or do you disseminate information from like top down, or how do you get that information out to your staff and faculty? Yeah, you're welcome to dive in. If that's really a question.
We have somebody from the state office
Yeah.
that, I mean, from the Hawaii State Department, and then at our complex area, so the Honoka'a High School all the way. So She's really good at giving us information and letting us know about wind advisories, whether there be air quality control, whether issues, or whether, you know, there be some of those major, I think, emergency that you're talking about. So it comes to me and then I send it out to the appropriate people, whether it be the teachers or if I have to notify the families. So that's how that's one way that I get my information.
I have Auntie Bernie.
We have an app called Crisis Go, and all of our faculty and our staff and our parents are on it, so we can communicate. But it's still civil defense. I think that's where we're heading, is like we're all kind of a part of the solution, right? With civil defense. And if you hear something, we all need to know about it. To use the fire as an example, we were fortunate enough to be in a space where we didn't have students, so we had housing and we could help people. And then I was like, well, I wonder what else is going on. So, but we can't feed them. So then I drove over to the district park, and they had it dialed in. They had food, but we didn't, there was no connection point on like who could. So that's what we're really trying to do with the resiliency of it, Patty, kind of pull us all together.
We're to say, as an independent school, we're not staffed with an officer. And so in terms of community conversations and community updates, it feels like we're really late in the list to find those things out. And so we actually rely on, in some cases, colleagues at other schools that will, in the middle of a lockdown, text us and say, are you locked down? We are. And so it can be those kind of informal networks. We offered to our community also during the fires. We've got a place for you to be if you're evacuated. We don't have a place for you to sleep, but HBA does. We're kicking everybody a little bit further down the road to do those things. So I think the conversation is really important.
James, I think Kanu has a really superb emergency plan too.
Kanu and Nicole, could you speak about that? Your emergency plan and the actions that you put in place for emergency and disaster events?
Yeah, I can a little bit. We do have a pretty robust emergency plan. We use Titan. I'm not sure if anyone else is familiar with that. And that's for internal communication. So that's anything from a fire on campus to natural disaster. But getting that information, we do use Nixle, and between the leadership team have that information come from there. But then when we disperse our information out, we use Titan. Titan is not linked to our families, but we do have and use PowerSchool for our PowerSchool messaging, the things that have to go out to the families. Another thing that we did, and I mean, this is more for a threat on campus, was last year we did a training with Blue Line Solutions, which I think now they're having a lot more schools do. We were kind of proactive in that, and we did it on our own. And that was really great for us to really assess even just our grounds on campus and where some points of maybe how we can build more support structurally for any type of disaster and or threat that's coming to campus. But I would agree with everyone that there is kind of an informal communication between families and teachers and administrators that kind of happens, and we could get a lot better with that. I know a lot of our families that have kids at multiple schools will say, hey, one of my kids is locked down at another school, and what are you guys doing, or vice versa. So I'm excited for that conversation.
I know a Taffy offer, you were actually hosting it when we have it.
Oh yeah. I did see that email today.
That's my question here, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Ben Concha, and I got kind of thank you, and a question, and then a bit of a comment. And these are specifically for
Small.
Yeah, quite that small. Particular for the two bars. First of all, thank you for emphasizing community outreach, and I think that's great that gets your students out in the community. And also benefits your students as they're enriched by going out and doing these things. I think these are very beneficial things, and they're also something that's relatively easy to and I guess the other, the part of my question is, having been here since 2004, it's great to hear all the educators talking, but I've noticed that we have really separate communities here in Waimea when it comes to our community and where they go to school. That's kind of something. So I guess I'm asking, seeing some of these private institutions and a lot of resources, specifically for integrating, providing some of the great things that you guys have going on in your schools. You can have an amazing great programs, summer programs. And my question is, what could you do to integrate some of the kiki between these stuff?
Comment, I think a lot of people don't realize there is a bias towards private schools that's built into the foundation of Waimea. The Parker School Trust donates money to our private institutions. To my knowledge, they don't donate money to the public institutions. Many large employers, including the astronomy community, fund tuition for private schools, and also do outreach to public schools, but I don't know of any in-kind donations. So also a suggestion that we might even the playing field, a lot of our charter schools operate on a per student budget, that maybe some cold hard cash from endowments. And considering that there are these structural things that are built into the history of our community and the way some of our employers are, in essence, biased towards independent schools. And also, can you open up the HPA school on Sundays, because I love just one there. That's the selfish part. All right, well, thank you for listening to my my 3 parts.
Stephen, Fred, anything you wanted to on top of mind for you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think in terms of students here, we spend about 80% of our financial aid on local Big Island students. We definitely want to use and share our resources. And the Sunday pool is an interesting one. We closed the pool because of COVID, where we couldn't have people on. Now we're really struggling finding lifeguards. And so we're trying to build that back up, to open that back up. So if you're a lifeguard, I
know previously there were high schools, so
yeah, I think, definitely it's something we always want to be mindful of and pay attention to is opportunities for everyone in collaboration and learning opportunities for our faculty to work together, to share faculty, to share resources. I appreciate it.
Start a lifeguard training program.
I just add that Honoka'a has a lifeguard training program. Nice. So.
Yeah, I would just say, like HPA, we have about 50% of our students are on financial aid. That doesn't necessarily make tuition free or as low as we would like it to be, but we do provide as much support as we can for really the broadest community we can to have access to the school. We're looking now post-COVID at the ways that we can open up some of those resources. We had Hometown Legends that was shown in the spring in our theater. There's the Story of Aloha Shaka, which is a movie that we're looking to show and bring the community into that space. We're looking at, we actually, because of our theater program, have pretty broad licensing to show any movie we would like to show. And so I know people have warm memories of coming to Parker School Theater to see Star Wars or to see the shows that we're debuting. So can we bring those kinds of resources back into the community? I know certainly part of the Waimea's Futures conversation was, what are the opportunities for our students after school? We want to be part of that conversation and part of that solution where we can. we're in a very fortunate position, certainly as an independent school, but I want to dispel lots of resources of that idea.
I think that might be to the gentleman to your right. Or your left.
I think, but I think it's, yeah, and you know, actually, one of our board members says independent schools have a very interesting model that every student we enroll, we lose another $5,000 because we aren't covering that tuition. So we're looking for philanthropy to meet that gap. So so there's not that kind of what you might imagine as copious resources.
I want to say that Donors Choose was a vehicle by which many of our teachers at Waimea Middle School had projects funded, and it came out of this community. All the names were associated with people who live in Waimea, and it came from the private school parents of the independent schools. It was pretty amazing.
So this is something we could build on, I think.
Okay.
And, you know, part of it are not only, I understand you do have, you know, financial constraints of your own, but in general, your student population has parents that have economic means to prepare their students come ready to learn. You know, we hear from the public schools about programs for trauma counseling. So there are other advantages beyond just the budget, I think. And then, you know, and do take this as constructive criticism. I just see our community sort of separated, and I think Waimea as a town would be stronger if there was more integration between our keiki.
Kanu, did you want to add anything? I saw your hand go up. Did you want to share anything as well?
I can. I was actually waving to the cleaner that was leaving and making sure that I lock up the whole school. So no, but I you know, I didn't hear all of the question, honestly, because it was breaking up, but I did hear a little bit of it. And you know, I think the gentleman mentioned about the per pupil and charter schools. I know our situation better than I know other people's situations. I'm sure others can share as well, but charter schools are functioning on a lower per pupil than the normal DOE public schools. So there is a lot of hardship on our end. You know, I know when people visit our campus, they're not necessarily feeling like that, you know, but we did start in tents. We did start in alternative spaces, and we've worked really, really hard through writing grants and doing all kinds of things to get the facilities we have now. And I think some people often forget that we're having to work a little extra hard for that. So the more our community can support us, whether your kid is going to a charter school or not, the more we can support each other in equitable funding for our students in Waimea, the better off we're going to be. I don't know if Janice, you have anything more to say about that?
So we offered free summer camp, 2 weeks tech camp to 4th through 8th graders, anyone rising, whatever school they went to, we offered it. We got a underwriter, Utah State underwrote the teacher payment part, and our school wrote the bus part. We had bus money to be able to transport the kids. We're going to do it again next summer. We had 40 kids, 8 teachers. If we can grow it, double it, we're happy to do that in our STEAM building.
I want to thank you for your question, because I think it's indicative of larger issues in the community. We do have this growing disparity on our island. And I think it's really important to be aware of, you know, it's not necessarily something we can solve, but it's something we can be aware of. It's something we can talk about. It's something we can continue to talk about. And I mentioned one of our goals is inclusion. We would love for our school to accurately represent the community around us. And, you know, sometimes it does more so than others. We offer financial aid also for this, you know, to try to make school accessible. And I think there's also a perception that independent schools are not accessible to local families. And I think that's part of it as well, that we would like to help dispel some of that we want to be accessible to local families, and we want to help make that work if we can.
Thank you, Laura. I know I see a whole bunch of hands coming up here, but I know we're pressed for time. I'm sorry about that, everyone. You know, it's very unique that we're having in our discussion and conversation with these administrators and educators. Waimea is amazing. I mean, look how many schools we have in Waimea alone, and all the variety of different schools and all the keiki we can educate. So I'm really grateful for all of you taking the time this evening. I know we've gone over time, but there's a lot more questions about safety and security on campus. I know these are coming up, and how do we work together and communicate and connect. So those conversations can definitely be had, and so, and this is just an opportunity to connect maybe once a year, and it's been going well for a couple of years, and I know COVID was one big issue, and now we have other issues, we're going back to other issues that we haven't faced in a while, right? So we definitely want to work together as partners, and we're grateful that hopefully you can connect on a more regular basis, and this is an opportunity just to kind of start that bridge. So thank you so much to all of you, Fred, Tammy, Stephen, Erica, Laurel, Janice, Kanoa, Nicole, don't forget you, and Pulani, of course. Thank you so much for being here this evening. I appreciate your time, everyone. Thank you.
Mahalo.
I'm just gonna say last couple words as we close here. Mahalo nui, of course, to all of our presenters that joined us here for taking the time to update our community, our viewers, our attendees, and for welcoming and engaging these conversations that really impact our community as a whole. Thank you to all of our viewers online for joining us on the live stream, to attendees here in person for asking some of those hard-hitting questions, of course. We're grateful for all of your support, everyone online, everyone here in person, everyone that makes Waimea Waimea. Mahalo nui to our friends here at Tutu's house. And as always, you're welcome to revisit and rewatch this recording at your leisure up on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. Our next month's meeting is scheduled for Thursday, September 3rd, and we look forward to having you join us that evening. And with that, and on behalf of the Waimea Community Association Board, I wish you well, good health, and be well. Aloha. Thanks, everyone. Thanks.